I want to start with a story of a hero of mine, Albert Einstein. Right after his studies, nobody wanted to hire him in the scientific world because of his edgy character and the strange questions he asked. He was totally depressed, writing letters, stating that he wants to kill himself, and he sees himself as a complete failure. Luckily, a friend of his got him a job in Switzerland as a completely under-challenged patent clerk. Not his dream job, but it paid the bills, and Einstein had enough time to daydream and wonder how it would be to sit on a photon and travel through the universe at the speed of light. Thus, the scientific community ignored his papers, knowing that he's just an unknown guy writing from Switzerland, until his famous paper about special relativity ended up on the desktop of someone who could tune into Einstein's genius, Max Planck. The rest is history. Now, I love this story because of two elements which I consider main ingredients of life: intuition and finding others who receive the vision, teaming up, accelerating the speed. Now, I really don't want to say that I'm somewhere close to Einstein's genius, but I do recognize myself in parts of his being. I have a calling, a thing that I cannot not do. And I daydream of waves as the unifying element of my reality. It all started with a heartbeat, a pulse, surrounded by my mother's waves and her heat waves, regulating our body temperature. Later, having discovered my voice as the communication wave and music tool, I spent my most favorite time in music studios, plugging cables to record acoustical waves and transform them into electrical waves, so they can become musical waves which are able to travel the world. On a CD, mainly, being read by a very focused light wave, a laser, being either reflected in a certain angle to be detected as a digital one, or in another angle, missing the detector, becoming a digital zero. Sometimes even scientists detect the spin of my atomic nuclei inside my head in an MRI machine, creating pictures of my brain using magnetic waves and radio waves that I can transform into artworks. And from quantum physics, I learned that I should sometimes rather think in possibility spectrums, not in determinations, as in the famous double-slit experiment, where particles didn't always behave as expected, showing the exact same shape on the detector which the slits do, but showing an interference spectrum, bending around the shape of the slits, as if they were waves. So I take this discovery as a reminder to not narrow my horizon too much on goals, observing every step very, very closely, but to trust the process, letting go, and let life provide me more possibilities. And recently, dear Albert Einstein, it all makes sense to me. Gravitational waves are my personal metaphor for what I used to call reality wormholes. Those magical moments when you keep following your calling and miracles happen, even to an unheard patent clerk stuck in Switzerland, a genius behavioral stranger. So my conclusion is, follow your calling and surf on the waves of your life.
When you catch a wave and you pull up into a tube and the wave is going over you, there's absolutely no way the mind can grasp it. So the mind drops away. And once the mind drops away, my nature, or whoever's surfing, their nature becomes one with the element that you're involved in, which is the ocean in this case.
Speaking about surfing on the waves of my life, in Oostende at the seacoast of Belgium, I found another wave surprise, a monumental public art sculpture which I could hear whispering to me, "Touch me." And so I hit it, and the reality wormhole opened up. I knew that this is part of my calling, and so, like Einstein, I had to write a paper, a concept, and hope that the creator of the sculpture, Arne Quinze, would tune into my vision and share the same wavelength and allow me and my fellow musicians to make music with his sculpture. Transmission received, we became official sculpture musicians. But this is just step one. My current thought experiment is a hexagonally shaped, audio-visual, three-dimensional, interactive space where your touch interacts with the audio-visual content. This way, the waves of the rocks can tour around the world, and the audience, like you, can open up their own reality wormholes, being guided by their own intuitive reactions and their senses. So as you can see, what you touch influences the content around you in three-dimensional sound and three-dimensional video. In the beginning was a wave. Even in the oldest spiritual belief systems is often quoted, in the beginning was a wave. Energy. Nowadays we call that string theory. Since I want to invite you to another dimension today, yes, another dimension, because I believe we are all multi-dimensional beings. We are parallel holographic universes, and we can jump from one reality into the other, depending on our level of awareness, attitude, dedication, and the decisions we take every single new moment. In fact, nature is a gigantic transmitter, and life a receiver. Humans are multi-receivers, considering waves, and we perceive them with our senses. In a sensory deprivation or floating tank, for example, you are excluded from sound, light, body temperature regulation, and gravity. You float in an egg-shaped tank with earplugs and in darkness. Due to having so much free processing time, our brain tunes into the theta wave spectrum, a state which refers to a very intuitive, almost sleep-like state. And as in deep meditation, I want to invite you to a journey into three-dimensional sound waves. And this journey is going to be boosted by your brain's own superpower. Because as you can guess with the sleeping masks you got provided, we're going to deprive one of your senses, so now is the moment that you should get them and put them on and tune into your own wave experience. Your brain is going to make your ears be an average 30% more sensitive by depriving your eyes. Relax, breathe slowly, and enjoy this journey into your own waves. thank you for tuning in. I hope you love this experience. I thank you so much that you all went into your own journey. If you wondered what this thing on my back was supposed to do, it didn't do anything during the talk because I didn't want to disturb the visuals on the screen, but in fact it's one of the most intimate things I was ever wearing. It is by a friend of mine, a fashion designer, Jasna Rock, and what you see on my back is my emotional states detected live, in real time, in colors. It's my brain waves. So as we share the wavelength, I thank you so much for enjoying this wonderful time with me. I want to thank everybody who helped me on the journey. It was a lot of people, and I wish you a wonderful rest of this amazing event. Thank you. The lady that made this amazing dress. Thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy.